Former President Donald Trump is set to make his first public appearance since leaving the White House last month. He will be speaking at the Conservative Political Action Conference on Sunday in Orlando, Florida, and is expected to use his remarks to discuss the future of the Republican Party and to criticize the Biden administration's immigration policies. Joining us now is Terry Schilling, board member of the American Conservative Union and president of the American Principles Project. Terry, welcome back. Great to have you on. I know you're in Florida right now. Can you set the scene for us? How many people are there at CPAC? Who are some of the speakers? And what would you say is the overall mood there?
Well, thanks so much for having me, Tracy. I love EWTN. The mood is extravagant. It's everyone's pumped up. There are, I would say, between 2,000 to 3,000 people, possibly more. It feels like a normal CPAC, even though there's been some restrictions on attendance levels. It's all sold out, and people are talking. They're talking about the future of the Republican Party, of the conservative movement, and more importantly, the future of America.
Yeah, and Terry, as we mentioned, former President Trump is going to be speaking on Sunday. What do you think we can expect to hear from him, and what are you hoping that he'll say?
I can expect I think all of your viewers can expect that President Trump is going to outline his involvement in the Republican Party going forward. We expect him to play kingmaker and, tell the crowd that he's planning to be involved in primaries to help clean up the Republican Party. And then again, in the general elections to help Republicans take back the House and the Senate. I also expect him to do a lot of how do you say it? I told you so's. President Trump warned us about what a President Joe Biden regime would look like, and he was exactly right. On day one, Joe Biden, for example, signed an executive order into law that would not only eliminate religious freedom, it eliminate all of our opportunities and protections for our daughters and our sisters and our mothers and wives, just with a stroke of a pen. And so he's going to do a lot of I told you so's, and he's going to outline his future involvement in the Republican Party.
Yeah, and as you know, there's been a lot of talk about former President Donald Trump's future in the Republican Party. How do you see it? And, can you talk a little bit more about what we can expect from him and from Republicans in 2022 and in 2024?
We're seeing a new Republican Party take shape. The biggest thing that President Trump contributed to this country, and I would say to the Republican Party, is a changing of attitude and demeanor. Republicans used to be more hesitant to fight in politics and to take on the biggest issues and threats coming from the progressive movement. Donald Trump changed all of that, and he made the Republican Party much more aggressive. He set the bar much higher than other previous presidents had done. So we expect him. I don't expect him to announce a future run for president, although that is possible that he could run in 2024. But I expect on Sunday, that he will lay out that he plans to be involved in primaries. He's probably going to name some targets that he's going to go after. I wouldn't be surprised if he talks a lot about going after Liz Cheney, who voted for impeachment, or the other 10 Republicans that voted to impeach him, even though he was out of office at the time. So he's going to be very involved in the Republican Party going forward, and he's going to continue to strengthen it so that they're prepared to tackle the threats and challenges posed by the progressive movement.
One thing we've also been hearing a lot about is this so-called civil war within the GOP. Is that really the case? And how do you see the overall state of the Republican Party right now?
So, look, the exit polling was very clear, and the polling throughout the election was very clear. President Trump enjoyed the highest level of support among the Republican Party of any presidential nominee. He was hovering around the 96% support mark, which is enormous. Now, the problem with the Republican Party is that so many of the never Trump Republicans have so much more sway in the media. They're much more part of the establishment. And they have a bigger bullhorn. And so this so-called civil war looks like a civil war, but it's really a Trump tide. Trump owns the Republican Party, so to speak. And it's only because he represents the people. President Trump did such a great job of representing the needs and desires of everyday normal American people who, for the past 20, 30 years, felt silenced by progressive elitists all throughout our society. And that's why he's so powerful, is he's listened to the American people. He's listened to conservatives who have felt just so attacked and slighted over the last several years.
Well, Terry, we're going to leave it right there. Thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Tracy.